Greetings, wonderful well-beings. I'm Key. Welcome back to the channel, guys. And I was in a cult. I actually was in a lot of cults. You ever been in a cult before? You know how it works? You ever heard about cults? How they work, how they operate, how they get you. What I've realized recently, I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about, we was watching this documentary about this cult leader girl. I've seen many documentaries about cults, but specifically, you know, how it's like a group-minded thing, and they get you, and then they manipulate you, and then the people get out the cult and start saying how they was mind controlled and all that. And when you really think about it, well, really what I was thinking about when I was a kid, being in like groups, I never felt comfortable being in groups. I was always the loner. I was always the person who, like, I knew people, but I'd rather like be alone. I'd rather be a loner and not a part of the group. Because I realized at a very young age that the group is all about control. It's all about peer pressure too, you know? And so it got me to thinking just about my life, like even just recently, traveling to different states and like meeting a lot of people, also with like open mic, like the open mic community that I met in Hawaii and Arizona. A big one though. Not only is it just because, you know, like I felt lonely. I felt lonely. And I wanted to meet people. I think as human beings, we naturally want community. We crave community. We want to be around others. We don't want to be alone all the time. Even if we can stand it for a long time, like we can be okay with being alone for a little while. But after so long, you're going to crave like human connection. You're going to crave just talking to somebody, you know? And I realized like one place where people get their human connection is, and those cult vibes, is at work. I just told y'all I started a new job recently, and that's not why I thought about it, but it's about the group mind and that group mentality that got me to thinking about all of this stuff. But like I said, when I was younger, I never really was into the whole group thing. I had like one or two friends, close friends growing up. That's it. Even people at school, like we'll be cool at school. I say, what's up? We don't talk outside of school for real. So, like I said, I only had like two real close friends growing up, 2 or 3. When one fell off, I probably got another one. It was just like, I never needed that many people. I never needed to be a part of the group. And when I did try to get involved in a group, I couldn't do it because it always felt like somebody trying to control you and get to think their way and pull you in, and if you don't think their way, they're gonna fucking bully you or treat you different and stuff. Like even when I was a sophomore in high school, I joined the step team, and I joined it because I had a homegirl that lived in my neighborhood, and she wanted to join, and I said, okay, that sounds cool. Like she was my friend, and I joined the step team with her, and I didn't like it. But in my mind, like when I got older, I was like, damn, I wish I, you know, would have got into more group things like sports and stuff like that. Because a part of me like think maybe I would have had like more skills to be like in the group, because I just felt insecure, I guess, about my lack of just not being able to be a part of group things. And I was like, okay, maybe if, you know, I did sports in school or something, I would have cultivated those skills and those characteristics to know how to talk to people and be a part of that group. But now I am so much more thankful that I just kept going my own way and being a loner, even though it gets lonely sometimes. I feel like it's me, it's who I am, it's who I've always been. And like I said, I've got into those modes where like, damn, I wish I was like group oriented and like, you know, could have friends and have all these groups, like be in these groups and have these friends. Okay, so like I was saying, I hit that point where I was lonely and I was like, I just want to go out and meet people. And that's when I traveled to Hawaii. And I met groups of people, and I had no idea I was about to walk into like meeting groups of people like that. Like I got into the open mic community. That's where like I felt like my people was, because I was able to perform open mics and watch performances open mics. That's what drawed me in. Like I like that part of it. We're expressing ourselves musically, we're watching each other, we're supporting each other in that atmosphere, right? So that's cool, right? But the cult vibes, it really come when it becomes like more of a control thing. And that's why when I was in Arizona, I started to feel like Arizona again. Like I said, I did it in Hawaii, and then when I went to Arizona after Hawaii, I got into Arizona's open mic atmosphere and met a lot of cool people. Met a lot of cool people everywhere. It's a lot of cool people, right? But when I went to Arizona, it was like I was having fun at first in the open mic scene, and then it just started to feel like pressure and control. Even though nobody was saying it outwardly, nobody was forcing me outwardly, like saying anything, trying to control me outwardly. It was like an inward feeling of, now I gotta take like music serious, or now I gotta be in the studio and I gotta join all these different events and activities that the rest of the people in the open mics are doing. I'm like, no, that's not what I came for. I came to have fun and be free in this atmosphere. But now it's feeling like pressure. Like I gotta do all these things to still be considered cool in this atmosphere, you know? Like, so it was like, I'd rather not like be in it. If I can't just be here and just my presence be enough and the cool vibe that we're enjoying right now be enough. But then we start getting closer to people, it almost, they start wanting more from you. They start wanting to see you doing what they doing, especially if they like doing events and they're, you know, starting businesses and take it serious, and then they looking at you like, well, you finna get left behind. Or maybe that's just how it feels, but that's just how it felt. And so back what I was saying was about the work atmosphere. It's the same in the work atmosphere, and it's the same, like I said, I've always been the same, but I'm really like opening my eyes to like how the work atmosphere is exactly the same thing. It's a cult environment. It's like family. It's like a second family. As much as if you wanna deny it or not, we spend 8 hours, if you work a 9 to 5 or any 8 hours a day at a job, 5 days a week, you're spending like about the same much time as at work as you are with your family at home. So the people at work, you're spending a lot of time with those people, and they do become sort of a part of your life, whether you the type of person that be like, nah, I don't fuck with them or not. They still there. You still have to see them every day and deal with them every day and create some kind of community, create some kind of connection, like, you know, period. It just is what it is. So, and like I said, as humans, we crave that community type of environment. We crave human connection. And so I feel like a lot of people do get it at work. And that's why I made a video a long time ago saying your work is your life. Your job is your life. Not literally, but in a way that if you hate the people that you work with, if you don't like the people that you work with, your life is going to be shitty. If you really can't stand going to work and seeing them folks you work with, it's time to look for a new job, baby. I'm here to tell you, it's time to look at something else. And even if you go to a different job, maybe pay a little more, a little less, it don't matter. The people there, if you like the people better, it's going to be so much of a better job. When I worked at McDonald's, I was getting paid like $7 back in 2010, $7.25. But I loved that job. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the people. I enjoyed going to work, to be around the people. I actually enjoyed the people I worked with, because that is so important to where you work, to like the people. It gets you excited to see people, even if y'all don't have like an outside of work connection. It's important that when you're there, y'all got some type of vibe, and y'all could be cool, and it makes work so much better, And so I was also thinking about, there was this job that I worked back in 2015, right? I worked there for about a year, and I've worked a lot of serving jobs. I have a lot of serving at restaurants, waitressing at restaurants experience. But this one in particular job, I was cool with everybody there. Like, I'm a cool person. I get along with people, especially at work. And was cool with everybody. And then there got to a point where we just start hanging out every night. We start going out drinking almost every night. Drinking every night. After work, we have, servers get to take their tips home. So we taking our tips home. We going to the bar after work, drinking, chilling. So I started to get closer to these people. So it became, I took the work. It started to become personal, because now I'm spending my time outside of work with these people. So that's a big deal. It's not only a work thing now. I'm spending time with them outside of work. So that group influence was huge. It was already big in the work environment, and then we're hanging out outside of work. So it's like the group influence and the peer pressure, and just doing what others are doing that's around and that you're hanging out with. That's what starts to happen. So this is one thing that I'd just feel I get on myself about, because I told myself I would never do hard drugs or do any crazy drugs, right? That was always just one of my boundaries, man. And this video is about boundaries, having boundaries within these type of environments, within these type of group structures. And I've spent so much time by myself. I know myself more than I ever have before. And it's so important to be yourself and be an individual and know yourself, and outside of the group. And it's cool to go back in the group and still be able to hang with them, to be able to vibe and connect, but you have to know yourself, okay? And have the boundaries to know what you willing to do and what you not willing to do. But that takes time, growing and learning yourself and having wisdom of that ain't for me. And you get to a point where you just make better decisions, wise decisions, right? And some of us already know this. Like I said, at a young age, I knew I wasn't trying to do no hard drugs, just based off of what I'm seeing in the world, but based off of something that happened personally in my life with my family. I told myself that it's not a wise decision to be doing drugs and shit, and that's something that I didn't want to do, like hard drugs and shit. So, because I know how it can fuck up your life. And so in that environment, going out with those people, I started to go to the little house parties. Some of the people that worked there sold drugs, and I went to their party a couple times, and I found myself doing something that I didn't want to do. And I really can't blame anybody else but myself, but I do feel like the environment that I was in was an influence to make me do it. Because if I was never in that environment hanging around them type of people, I wouldn't have done it. But it's good. I think I learned a lesson. Through that. When I did it, I felt like, okay, this ain't it. I literally quit. I literally quit that job because I felt like that environment and those influences were not positive for my life. It's not a path that I wanted to go down, right? Even sometimes it ain't gotta be a group. Sometimes it could be a one-on-one friendship. This has happened before too. I had a friendship with a certain person, and their life choices their life choices, at first it was cool because it was like, okay, their choices, it was like their choices are not affecting my life, right? So it's cool, I can hang around them. But it got to a point where we fell out, and then their choices it became more clear to me that, why am I hanging around this person? Like, yeah, we might have some things in common, but is it like really wise to be hanging around this type of person? You know what they're into, you know what type of like environment they're into, you know what type of people they like to hang around, and I had got involved in all that too. And that's what I'm saying. It's about knowing yourself. It's cool to do it. Like, I ain't gonna say it's cool to do it, but you gotta do it sometimes to realize what's for you and what's not for you. Hanging around certain type of people and doing certain type of things, and sometimes people are a lot of especially young kids these days are followers, especially in these groups. They just want to be cool. They just want to do the cool thing, and they just want to follow the cool crowd, and they don't want to be left out. They group, like everything is almost everything is a cult. Cults, gangs, work corporations, everything is a cult. Almost every group type affiliation is they got low-key cult vibes. I don't care what you say. So that's why I feel like it's just really important to, like I said, be an individual and know yourself, and have boundaries. Have boundaries. Like I said, know what you willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And there was another thing, like when I was younger too, I don't know, I just naturally had this was just another one. Like, my boundary was like, I'm not dating anybody that I work with, because I know, like, in the group, I don't want to ever date anybody in the group. I'd rather date a person that's outside of the friend group, because in the friend group or at work specifically, I don't want to ruin my friend group or my work environment with some messy drama if me and the person that I'm with don't end up staying together, or just even if we are together and just have people talking about my business and gossip. It get real messy, okay? And so that was another thing. I told myself I would never date anybody that I worked with, but I actually ended up doing that. So I ended up like crossing my own boundary on that part. But I was wise already. It's like, you already know, you wise enough to know, but then you still do it. It's like, okay, kind of like a kid, curious, you know, you dip your foot in the water, you see how the situation goes. Like, you see how you got to kind of experience it first, you know, because you could tell yourself all day, like, that's not a wise decision, based on what somebody else told you, or just based on natural instinct and seeing the world as you grew up in society, and just having common sense, like, if I do this is gonna happen. Like, it's just common sense. But sometimes we get curious and we got to see for ourselves, right? And then you do it, and then you see exactly why you didn't do it, exactly why your inner wisdom told you that wasn't a wise choice to do. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing, man. And even like groups, really, I'm very protective of myself. And like anybody that's in groups, like trying to control my energy, trying to get me to do something that I'm not down with doing, I'm very aware. I'm very aware. And then when you don't want to do something that they want you to do, then you're like, oh, now you're not cooperating. Now you're not being a part of the group. Now you're an enemy of the group because they can't control you. And that's how you know who your real people are, and that's how you know who your friends are and who your friends not. Like, if you're in a group and they're mad at you and they really like can't accept you because you don't want to do a certain thing or be a certain way, then that is not your friend, you know? And then like different type of groups, you will probably have some things in common with some of the people, but you might not have everything in common, you know? And that's why you have to know, okay, this is cool. I like doing this with you. I like going this place with you. I like going hiking with you, or I like making music with you. But when it comes to this stuff that you doing, I'm not on that type of time. So, you know, either we gonna be friends or like, because you can still be friends with that person, but it's just about, okay, that just, it's kind of up to you, your self-judgment, to know, is that gonna be affecting your life and your choices. But you can still be friends with a person, like, yeah, we can go out to eat together, or we can go hiking together, or we can do stuff that we both have in common together. But when it comes to, like, you want to go do some wild shit, go get one of your wild friends to do some wild shit with you, because that ain't me. I'm not doing that with you. But that can get sticky too, because like I said, peer pressure is real, and you can get to a point where that person might peer pressure you to do something that you don't really want to do, or might coerce you to go with them and do something that you really, you know, you just did it because y'all were just hanging out, and it just happened, and like, oh yeah, I'll go there with you. But like, as you get older, man, I'm getting older, and it's like, these choices, it's just so important to make wise decisions, and like make wise choices as far as like friends and groups that you so-called are drawn to and want to be a part of. Just have awareness and mindfulness, and know yourself. You know, you don't have to do everything that they tell you to do just to be a part of their group. You know, that's called control. That's called manipulation. And I can't do it. That's why I've always been a loner, and I've always walked my own path. Like I said, I've been traveling, and I've been in different groups. I've had a lot of friends, I ain't gonna say friends, maybe acquaintances that I've ran across. But it comes to a point where sometimes not all relationships or friendships are meant to be lifelong. Sometimes it's just, you know, it's for a season or a few years, and you guys grow apart based on who you are as individuals. You just find yourself going two separate ways, and that's okay. It's okay to lose friendships. It's okay to find new friendships because you're not the same person who you was 5-10 years ago. So it's okay to make new friends that's more on a wave that you are, like, in your new life, especially when you like transition and you become my thing is, I feel like this has always been me, but I've been trying to be somebody else. I've been like trying to, like, okay, maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe I should really try to be a part of these groups, and like, maybe I'm being selfish and shit like that. But no, I'm being protective, and I'm being smart, okay? And I'm having boundaries, and people will try to use that against you and say you selfish and this and that because they can't control you, okay? That's all I'm saying, okay? It's an interesting thing, and I'm learning. It's all really wise, and like, from now on, like, a big thing that I've learned, I don't need to be friends with people outside of my job. Like, we work together, and that's what it is. Like, and I realize my personality at work is a lot different from my personality at home, in my personal life. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna just say, like, my personality at work is very cool. Like, if anybody work with me, I'm cool, I'm fun, I'm funny, I'm silly, I like to play around, I'm cool, like, I'm cool with everybody at work. I'm like, it's usually a cool vibe, unless it's one of them people that's trying to be bullies and dominant and control me, and like trying to I already know those type of energies that want to like punk me or something, just based on just me being a cool, like, quiet or funny, silly person. People try to control your energy, and you just peep game, okay? And like I said, I'm at the point where I don't need to be friends outside of work. Like, work, we go to work, I'm cool, I'm gonna be my cool self. And I am at the point too where, okay, I gotta check people too sometimes. It's because when people try to take your kindness for weakness, when you're all, because like I said, I'm very silly and funny at work and cool, and then it's like people try to like bully you, like take your kindness for weakness sometimes. It's like, I'm at that point too where, like, no, I'm gonna be mean back. Because I used to have an issue, like, not just feeling like, nah, I'm cool. I'm the cool person, you know? I ain't gonna even be mean. I ain't even gonna react to them. But it's at that point where, like, sometimes you just gotta let them know, like, yeah, you see me cool all the time, but I'm about to be a bitch today because you're trying me, all right? But I'm gonna still be cool, you know, because it ain't even like that. I'm just trying to show you that I have boundaries, and you ain't just about to, like, step on my boundaries, even, you know, at work, whatever. So, but like I said, one boundary that I have learned, if we cool at work, we don't have to be cool outside of work. Already I got people trying to add me on social media, and I've only been working this job for like a week, trying to add me on social media or ask me for my phone number. No, we're not doing that. I know I'm cool at work. I'm cool at work. And so just keep it in that vicinity. Just keep it there. Because I'm not adding nobody on my social medias outside of work. I'm not giving nobody my number. That's just not what it is. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's separate. It's separate. I'm just keeping those things separate because it is, you know, and I'm just keeping my boundaries and protecting my peace. That's it. So, yeah. Y'all feel me? Comment below if y'all feel me, all right? Like and subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I had to get that off my chest. But anyway, you already know. We winning wellness. Put your crowns on and keep your crowns on because we winning. You dig? All right, y'all take care. Peace.